Hey guys, welcome to our review of Mashin Sentai Kiramager, episode 24. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have
Cinder Blaze.
properly in frame this time. But yeah, guys, before we get started, just wanted to mention that there are still links in the description down below to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, whatever you do, as long as you do it. It absolutely helps. But with that said, let's move into our review so then we can get to the comments, and then, yeah, do the whole rest of the show. Alex, this was better than last week.
Yeah, and it was kind of like it was very similar to last week. I still feel like these episodes aren't as strong as like the ones that we had previously. However, I felt like the song was so much better. Like you can't even compare it. So like when we have an episode that's just basically devoted to like promoting the song, like you saw it from like very early on, and the song actually was great. I'm just like, you know what? You deserve that one.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's a tiny bit, not too much more, but like a tiny bit more than that. Because yeah, absolutely, the song knocked it out of the park this week. But last week we had such conflated stakes with like, oh hey, we're quickly setting this up. We're quickly pretending that there is a threat here, a threat that you're only just now learning about and is like an entirely foreign concept to you because it is of this other world. But this one, it's like, oh hey, this kid's sad and he's scared of surgery, and it's potentially life-saving, and he doesn't want to have it because he's discouraged and scared about it. And like maybe the kid being kind of shitty about it was not what got me, but it was like, oh yeah, he's scared of having surgery and we're just trying to comfort this guy or this kid. And I feel like that central thing was a lot better than making sure Mabashina's mom doesn't shatter because she hears bad news.
I mean, if you compare it to that awful plot point, then yeah, it looks good. But like personally, like I didn't feel any sympathy for the kid. Like I didn't even care for that problem whatsoever because they barely dived into it. Like it wasn't like much of a thing because the monster in the middle of the episode just kind of hijacks him and just absorbs him, and I don't even remember seeing him at the very end. So
he was there. He was there at the park bench, but I like you said, it wasn't that much better, but it was better, and the song was better. Like you have you have similar DNA,
yeah,
but you have a better outcome just because each of the pieces you used were just that much better.
yeah, and like the whole song plot just didn't come out of nowhere. Like Mabashina was trying to sing the entire time. Excuse me, what? Like
yeah, and I feel like it helps this episode just because we know it's coming. We know this is going to be a music focused episode so that our minds are tuned to that. Mabashina's, it was like, whoa, what the it's like getting slapped immediately in the face and you weren't expecting it. Slaps in the face still suck, but if you're expecting it, then it's a little better.
Yeah. I honestly hope that Mabashina was like listening to this and kind of discourages her from singing ever again. She can't even like compare with Yellow, which was like a surprise to be honest. I think Yellow and Pink.
Him singing,
even if it wasn't him singing, his acting was pretty good, so I could believe that he was singing.
Sure,
but Pink looked like she was rocking the drums. Like that's
absolutely.
Like that's what I was looking at like the entire time. I was like, is she actually playing it? But she's hitting the right ones at the right time. I'm just like, oh, that's a random ass talent, but it works. It works really well.
No, absolutely. Like that surprised me the most. There were a bunch of little gems in this episode, and that was one of them. And I think because like last week, I keep wanting to compare it to last week, so forgive me if it sounds a little
rough,
repetitive, but like the character interactions were a bit more present this time. Like they just sort of existed last episode, and Blue was like out there the whole time, kind of. Like they were more or less the side characters, but this time they were front and center, and they're the characters that I really like, and that have a really well established, working relationship. And it, I mean, the moment that Yellow and Green walked up to Red and just said, hey, this is your fault. You made us do this. Like, giving us that scene, I don't know. I feel like we didn't get as many of those in the last one.
Yeah, it just like fleshes out the characters a little bit more because Yellow and Green are the ones who would give Red shit.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
and kind of seeing Pink being put in a situation where like she has to make sure the rest of her crew is up to her standard because like we kind of like see her being like relatively calm. She's like, she kind of like goes with the flow. Really she's just like overall like very nice and stuff. However, that's because like it's not like something that depends, or I don't know how to put it honestly. It's like the stakes are a little bit like higher for her, I guess. Like it's her patient. She feels like this is a lot more important for her, and she needs it to be like up at that level. And like when she doesn't see them there, and her personality just kind of like snaps, we're just like, oh shit. She's like, it's like, or I think like Green's like, I thought this was supposed to be fun. It's like it's fun after we practice. Get back to work.
It's like, fun if you're good. You get good. And I like, something could definitely be said about, oh yeah, after one scene transition, they're already good at the song. Like, I can definitely see that and see someone saying something bad about it, but I personally was fine with skimming past it just because the goal of making a good song, I wasn't quite there yet, because like, I don't know that I want to listen to this music yet until they actually showed it off and it was good. But like, I thought it was a neat way to um you know sort of skirt that to make sure they didn't play the song until the end.
Yeah. I also felt that for some of them they didn't have to play the instruments like that much. I'm pretty sure Green, Blue, and Red were just like strumming occasionally. Like
Red
it
and
was
Blue
most
definitely were not playing their instrument.
yeah.
Silver
So
definitely was, though.
oh yeah.
Like,
I forgot that he was the groupie in this whole shebang. That was a neat way of kind of like isolating him and then letting him do his own thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. Are we good here? Are we ready for comments?
Yes.
All right, cool. So, first comment comes, let's see, from Tommy Lulu in the chat, who says the new song is a banger. Absolutely. Check out RR the Breakdown. That happens right before the streets, about an hour or two before the streets. Just check them out. Dustin Smith says another rocking episode. First of all, the kid in the episode was most certainly more tolerable than in episode 19. It was great to learn a bit more about Sayo and how she's not only a doctor, but has a good ear for music. Tamatomo can sing. Who knew? Neat. Remember when I said Safe Marsk was tough? Well, he can move over now because Defiantly Speaker Marsk is on the top of my list of tough Marsks. I mean, literally, he blew up whole buildings with his sound waves, and also liked the added touch of tension from seeing people actually getting hurt by his powers. I mean, that looked like stock footage, and it looked like some of the footage they used in Gokaiger of like the first battle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Right? Okay. Also, that woman that's car flipped over, I'm pretty sure she's dead. I will say it is quite a fascinating mechanic for the Marsks that they restore broken parts of them by tapping into humans' darkness. Yeah, I don't know if that was like a later addition to this. I
Yeah,
guess.
because I feel like they have been breaking the villains of the week like just slightly. Like there's an antenna one time, random crap, like their little like doohickey that like triggers their power. Like Blue usually just like snipes it at the very beginning.
Yeah. But like it's usually the other bad guys that fix it. You could say that they fix it with darkness, like they have more darkness just available. But like I wonder if this is a new mechanic that they recently came up with or it was in the DNA of the show the whole time.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit like haphazardly thrown together and then they um referenced the girl from before who had that leech one, and I thought that was just the music one, Shigeru's
Yes.
stalker. Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't know if I didn't know if that was an isolated incident or whatnot, but I guess it's like just a main through line for all of them. Um, But yeah, anyway, let's see. I wonder if we'll get to see more of that later on. Jukebox, Hildon, I love it. Man, Garza can play guitar. Absolutely, he can. Maybe he should consider joining a band instead of trying to conquer the earth. That song with the Kiramagers reminds me somewhat of Tokuja theme song. I like it. Next week, we get the first episode to lead to the Kiramagers getting their power up, and I'm quite intrigued about what the deal is that bow wielding maiden rock on.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for the next week's
Oh
episode.
yeah, and
Comment. Oh,
it
go
didn't
ahead.
look like a music focused episode, so I'm even more on board.
I mean, it is a Tomatomo episode, and if he starts serenading that one chick, that'll be funny.
Yeah. Anyway, Alex, you done here?
Yeah, I'm done.
Good. All right. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about our thoughts about your thoughts about this episode. And there are still links in the description down below to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, whatever you do, as long as you do it. It absolutely helps. Guys, thanks for watching. Keep it.
Yeah, see you later. I'm just watching Saber. If you're just wondering why I'm kind of like zoned out.
Yeah, I figured. Ugh. Saber. Do I have an opinion on Saber? I think it was better. Saber's better.
Yeah.
Me too.